Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever Have you Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is up, everybody? And that is the wrong screen, which is a great start. There we go. That's the screen we want to start on. So, thank you everybody for joining me here live on FPL today. So used to saying FPL Wildcats. Sorry it's taken me so long to get a stream going, but finally we are here and we are ready to hopefully make our transfers for this game week. If anyone wants to know what I'm drinking, it's some fruity twist drink, because it is during the day, so I'm not going to drink during the daytime. But yeah, I've got a team to sort out. First live, I did one for game week 1, Fire Tog, but yeah, I wanted to do one for game week 2, didn't get time. Wanted to do one earlier in the week for game week 3, but yeah, I was going to do it Wednesday, but my wife went and got a tattoo of my daughter's name, my second daughter's name, on her arm instead. So this is the first time I get to do it. I know it's not long before the deadline, but quickly before we get into looking at my sides, just a quick shout out to everyone on my Patreon. I know I didn't really get to asking you guys for questions for this one, but just always put the questions in on the Discord if you want to get your questions answered on the live stream. If you want to be part of the Discord, then check out FPL Today on Patreon. You can support the channel in that way. It's only $1 a month and you get access to that and some monthly and season games. And let's just start off with how my team is looking currently. If you've watched the video, you'll know 4-4-2 setup at the moment. Not particularly happy with that side right now. Perez is an issue. Deulofeu is an issue. Jota seems in form in the Europa Cup, but not when it comes to actually playing in the Premier League, which is really annoying because I need him to get the goals in the Premier League and not. I'm really not fussed about anywhere else, to be fair. Perez hasn't looked too good at Chelsea either, to be fair. He played Chelsea, hasn't looked that good at Leicester. Maddison looks like the player pulling all the strings there. Tielemans looks better. Double Liverpool defence, it's not worked out for me yet, has it? So we've got to look at that as well. So yeah. Oh, where do we begin? Now, if you watch my preview video, you'll know the moves I'm probably considering to make. I've also got to sort out my fan team as well. Check out Fan Team and Fantasy Football Fix, which we'll be using during this live stream, in the links in the description. What I want to do, and we'll start off by just going to my transfers. What I wanted to do, and if I'd done it early enough, I could have, is it would have been Wilson out, who's dropped in price. That's not great. Fraser, who's dropped in price. And Robertson, who dropped in, has still the same price. He hasn't dropped in price. And then bringing Digne, as far as I'm aware, he seems like he'll be available. De Bruyne. And then that leaves us 6.7 million and Pookie is 6.8. Fantastic. I would have picked Pookie. It looks like it's going to have to be Barnes. And that's a -4. So that is the move I'm considering making. Need to check on Digne. I'm pretty sure, though, they said Digne is fine. De Bruyne, Barnes. I mean, I'm not too fond of the Barnes pick, but it's Wolves away, which is probably, well, it might be better than Chelsea, which is who Norwich have got. But then Liverpool, next fixture, isn't exactly the one I want Barnes for. But it does mean that I'm left with still Deulofeu and Jota and Perez. And it's only really getting rid of the Bournemouth boys. But I like the look of De Bruyne at the moment. So those are the moves I'm considering. I'll quickly go to the chat, see what you guys think of that. If I had... I personally prefer Alexander-Arnold and Robbo, just because I think they will still get more attacking returns than Van Dijk will in the season. But VVD definitely would have, if he was in my side, meant I had some money to use. Which could have potentially got Pookie. Maybe that's what will happen next game week. But it's a good point, Tahir. Bobby loves scoring against Arsenal, true, but season long, I'm probably not going to go Bobby. It would be a 1 week move. Good fixtures for Barnes from week 5 is true. So potentially you could hold Barnes on the bench for the next game week. Thanks, Bryce. Good to see you in the chat, mate. And Dombele's out. Which player for a similar price? I wouldn't even know where to look because I don't. To be fair, I know he's got some attacking returns, but Ndombele just doesn't seem like the kind of midfielder I want in my side season long. But 6.1 million, so you're looking for a midfielder. 6.1 million. So if we go around the 6, and Didi, Lamella, I mean Lamella looked decent-ish. Ceballos, or however you say it. If he stays in that side, in that Arsenal side, and doesn't seem like a rotation risk, he could be good. I like McGinn, 5.6. McGinn may be coming into my side at some point. I think Villa's fixtures aren't too bad. Yeah, Palace and West Ham next 2. Then forget Arsenal, Burnley, Norwich, Brighton. So McGinn could be a transfer I make next week. As far as my fan team goes, again, we've got to make some moves in that. So if you don't know about Fan Team is a fantasy football game, just like the Fantasy Premier League, where you, as you can see there in the top left, I had to buy in for €25 to play. But with that buy-in, I got to enter into a competition where the top prize is €50,000. I mean, at the moment, I'm 2,451st. I think to win your money back, you have to be in the top 1,250 out of 8,611 players. I had a decent start in Game Week 1, but it didn't go too well in Game Week 2. Game Week 2, I managed to get 50.5 points, which, you know what, is better than I'm doing in FPL with the likes of Salah, Digne, Sterling, Wilson. But in Game Week 1, I managed to get 88.5. Did pretty well in Game Week 1. But now we're thinking of Game Week 3, and we have some moves to make, potentially, in this. And also, then we have, if we go to the dashboard, or is it the lobby? You could play the Aston Villa-Everton game later tonight if you just wanted to play in a one-fixture game. But you've got the Weekly Monster, which is a Game Week game. Doesn't include the Aston Villa and Everton. It's mainly the weekend games that you're looking at. I will be entering for €2. If you don't know, I'm trying to slowly build a pot in Fan Team throughout the season. So far, I've put in €40, and that includes the €25 that went on the season-long game. I'm now at €73.07, having made decent profit in Game Week 2. So I made 47.19 in the Weekly Monster Game Week 2 game, €40 buy-in, but I got free tickets, just so you know, one of the perks of being sponsored by Fan Team. And then in the €2 game, I did make 15.49 as well. Got 56th and 194th. So yeah, pretty happy with that. But I won't go into the Weekly Monster game, because I'm sure you guys want me to actually answer your questions. But as far as this one goes, can I make similar moves? So if we got rid of Fraser, if we got rid of, see here I've got Van Dijk. If we get rid of, can I just use 2 moves here? How much I've got? 14 million in there. De Bruyne is 9.6, so I'll only have 4.4 left. That's not ideal. So we can't make that move. It's not as simple. How do we reset? So again, I'd have to get rid of Wilson again by the looks of it. But could I get in Pookie? It is against Chelsea, but I think season long that's the move I want to make. So again, we go De Bruyne. 5.9, so we'd have to save some money. If we kept Van Dijk, saving a significant amount with Alexander-Arnold, we'd be on 6.2 million for a defender.
And now you've got yourself something funky.
Okay, my internet is playing up today. Great start. Anyway, as I was saying, We've now got another defender to pick. We can get Pookie in though. He's only 6.7 in this game. It does mean keeping Wood though. Not too fond of Wood, to be fair. If we click affordable back off again and bring back in... Bring Trent back in. If we got rid of Wood, because I don't particularly want Wood. So if we look at forwards for 5.7 million... Of course not at Liverpool. Who have we got left? Andone, Paul, McGoldrick, McBurney, Wickham, Solanke, Greenwood... Shea Adams, he looks like a starter, but Shane Long, it's not really doing it for me there, which is a shame. So if we put Wood back in, I don't particularly want Wood though, that's the problem. He hasn't filled me with confidence. So if we get rid of Alexander-Arnold, we've got to bring a defender, 6.2 million to spend. And... could bring in Kyle Walker. I do like the sound of that as long as he doesn't lose his place. We could bring in a Man United defender, Maguire, Shaw. Shaw could have potentially got on the end of that Rashford pass instead of Martial. Why isn't it sorting it by price? Yeah, for some reason it isn't sorting it by price. But let me just quickly finish this, guys, and I'll get back to you. I'm sure you didn't come to just see me contemplate my side. Kyle Walker Peters is 5 million. I like the idea of Walker. I think we'll probably go with that. But I'm not going to confirm yet. I want to see what else is said in the press conferences. But a -4, pretty happy with that side. And yeah, that's probably what I'll do on Fan Team. But let's get to your questions. Enough about me, enough about my side. Let's start answering some questions. So, has there been a conversation about Trezeguet and McGinn? Trezeguet for Villa, 91% threat, second highest of any mid after Sterling. He seems a good pick. Don't get me wrong, Trezeguet's looked good. I've watched Match of the Day. Trezeguet's looked dangerous. It looks like if he settles and if he finds some form, he could be explosive. The reason I like McGinn is because he seems like a player that the manager deems important, and the manager even said, I believe, in a press conference that McGinn should score a lot of goals because of the runs he makes from deep into the box. So the manager's got faith in McGinn. I liked the look of McGinn, so that is why I'm leaning towards McGinn instead of anyone else from Villa. Am I playing Dendoncker this week? It's very possible I play Dendoncker this week. It depends on the transfers. Currently, looking at my side... 1 second. Yeah, looking at my side, I need to get... You can see it, but I haven't got it in front of me. If I don't change it, if that's the move I make, -4, you're probably looking at, of course, Pope in goal, Digne, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko. Lundstrom, I don't know, if Leicester had looked good in their first 2 games, like for the majority of the game, and they seemed like they're on form in front of goal, potentially I would have been like, yeah, Lundstrom's definitely a bench option. But having seen what he did against Palace, yes, Palace are not Leicester. Leicester will be a tougher fixture for Sheffield United because it's still at home. Could Lundstrom still get a clean sheet? Maybe he'll get a goal. But definitely Digne, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko will start. De Bruyne, Salah, Sterling. I can't see me not playing Perez against Sheffield United just in case he does do something. Then Dendoncker and Jota. Deulofeu against West Ham. I know he's not been on form, but it is against West Ham. Yeah, it's going to be... I don't think Dendoncker will make the side, if I'm honest. He'll probably be the first bench option. What do you think about Hala from the Immortal? I really like the look of Hala in the first game against City, even though they lost significantly. The issue I have with Haller is he played in the Bundesliga with Jovic and... Oh, what's his name? It's not Kramaric. At least I don't think it's Kramaric. But he played in an attacking three that was very good. All of them had goal threat, though. They all had a really good understanding. And from what I've seen of his underlying stats from seasons gone, his first season at a club doesn't usually return the kind of returns we want to see. It can take some time to settle in. However, he does have a lot of creative midfielders behind him. If they find the right pairing behind him, you've got the likes of Lanzini, you've got the likes of Felipe Anderson, you've got the likes of Yarmolenko, you've got Fornals. If they find Rebic, that was it. Anthony Rebic. Apologies for that name not coming straight to me. If they find the right partnership and make the most of Haller, I think that could be a very potent front line. Potentially one of the midfielders behind him could really benefit from Haller leading the line. But it's just a different system, and I need to see it gel first. I'm not sure Haller is someone I'd take a risk on. Now, I'm the same guy that said I wouldn't take the risk on Pukki until I saw him play. I wish I had. But Pukki was at the same club. Yes, it was promotion to the Premier League, but same club with the same manager, with probably the same style of football being played when he got promoted. So I wish I'd taken a risk on Pukki. Haller isn't someone I'm willing to take a risk on just yet. Wan RXC, Siggy on -4 for Martial. Right now, Martial looks a lot more dangerous than Sigurdsson. Everton don't look good going forward. They don't look very potent. To be honest, I think if you've got Digne or an Everton defender, they look decent defensively. They don't seem on it going forward. So I would say Martial is better than Siggy, especially against Palace. Palace just don't look that great. And I think United, the way they especially play in the first half against Wolves, that Man United would score a couple against Palace. Omar Ashore wants to captain a differential like De Bruyne or Son instead of Salah or Sterling. Do you think it's a good idea? I feel like De Bruyne won't play the full 90 minutes. Well, speaking to me, someone that really needs to just get a somewhat respectable rank because he's had a horrible start to the season, I wouldn't risk it. Because if it goes wrong, then it's going to really see me drop. However, if I was going to take a risk, it would be De Bruyne over Son, just because Son's just coming back. He did look good during pre-season. I don't like to put too much emphasis on pre-season, though. So I would go De Bruyne just because De Bruyne's looked really good in two different games in the Premier League. So I would go for De Bruyne if you're going for a differential, but to be honest, mine's going on Sterling. If I had Martial, Michael Foley, he would be a consideration for captain. I think Martial, Rashford could be great picks this year. I will be covering Man United at some point. The issue I have is I don't like to take too many risks at the beginning of the game, and I feel like this year was the year to take the risks. If I'd brought in Pukki, if I'd taken a risk on some of the Chelsea and Man United options that were really good value, I may have been in better stead than I currently am. The issue I had is I went for your Man City and your Liverpool, which is fine, but I went double Liverpool defence. It didn't get the clean sheets I wanted. Salah hasn't scored as many as would have been good for me. And then I went for players like Leicester players, but I went for Perez, a new guy to that team. If I'd followed my own rules, I'd have gone for a Maddison or a Tielemans and then waited to see what Perez did. But yeah, Martial definitely, if you can get him and you think that's the move you want to make, Martial just gets beaten out by De Bruyne for me. But next move, I may take another -4 next week to try and sort this team out. Maybe I'll wait and...
And now you've got...
This is having an absolute mare. I don't know why my internet keeps dropping out. The internet gods are against me. I literally did a stream with the Wildcats on Tuesday. perfect all the way through. And yeah, now it's really not cooperating at all. Apologies for that. As far as background noise, let's see what I can do about that. Okay, so you're probably still going to hear it when I'm talking, but hopefully that has done something for the background noise for you. But yeah, I've literally bought, if you didn't know, I bought a what's called a desktop hub, which means I plug my laptop into it, and then all the Ethernet ports and all the USB ports go into that hub, so I don't have to plug too much into the computer, and it's meant to mean I don't have to plug in and out the Ethernet cable, which means it doesn't get loose, which I believe is the issue I was having before. So the Ethernet cables aren't loose anymore, but it's just still being an absolute... Anyway, maybe they're just like, who streams on a Friday when there's a game on Friday night? Anyway, what was I talking about before we got cut off? I was probably singing Martial's praises. But let's get on to the next question. Okay, I've seen a couple of times. I'm not sure if Yash asked this a couple of times. Vardy against Sheffield United. Now, this is going to be, for me, a very, very big game to watch for not just Leicester, because I'm expecting good things from Leicester this season. Sheffield United, the way they play, they have this, what I call, overlapping centre-backs. If you know who Statman Dave is, I think he's done a video on it recently. I did a video during pre-season on how they play. The two centre-backs that play either side of the central centre-back do have licence to roam forward. Now, this isn't they've only got one defender back kind of team. The players alternate. Some will stay back, some will go forward. It makes it harder for the other team to read which players to track. It makes man marking more difficult. And it does mean that, apart from maybe Egan and their most defensive midfielder, you're probably looking at anybody can get goals and assists from that side. That is why I'm not looking too much past Lundstrom, because Lundstrom is 4 million. I think he'll get goals sometimes, he'll get assists sometimes, but he might not necessarily always be one to get involved. However, what this does potentially do is leave space behind in certain areas of the field for Jamie Vardy. And Jamie Vardy is a striker that really enjoys space behind in the defence. Will Sheffield United change the way they play because of the likes of Vardy, because of the likes of Perez? Potentially. But I'm very interested to see. I'm not confident in Leicester to do anything, but I'm not so unconfident that Perez probably won't start. I'll be very interested to see how this game goes, but I am part of the Lundstrom Appreciation Society, Am and Dylan, so I'm just not sure if he will start. But then again, I might see 14 points on a bench again. I saw Son or Kane. I've always preferred Son. I feel like Son can match Kane's points if they're both on form. If they're not both on form, of course, then whoever's in form is going to score more points. But if they're both on form, I think Son can potentially match Kane for cheaper and get you that coverage of Spurs. I think I saw some other questions like Kane or Auba. Again, I don't know if it's because Kane had that season where I was so adamantly behind Kane as a striker and he just didn't return for ages, and I kept saying it will come. But because it didn't come, I think ever since then I've been anti-Kane, and he's a great striker, don't get me wrong. But I feel like sometimes he drops too deep. Sometimes there are players in that side, that Spurs side, that are cheaper, that can get close-ish to Kane's points. I need Kane to be a 30-goal-a-season striker, or like a 22, 23, 24. He needs to be golden boot for him to be in my side. Will it happen this season? It could. He scored in August, which is always good. But yeah, for me right now, Auba looks so clinical at Arsenal. I've liked Auba ever since he's gone to Arsenal, so you know. We do have Elite FPL Stevo in the chat. If you don't know about Elite FPL, where you been? They're streaming every single day pretty much. Part of my morning routine, depending on when I start work. So do go and check out Elite FPL. They have a call-in, which they beat me to, because I was really considering doing a call-in with some of my Patreons, because I've got a Discord for my Patreons. And yeah, they do a call-in every morning. Got some great members of their own Discord that call in and give some great insight. So go check out Elite FPL after this stream, of course. Just carry on watching me, and then you can go and check out Elite FPL. Triple captain Sterling. I mean, it is Bournemouth, but I think, wasn't it last season they beat Bournemouth 1-0 despite having something like 80% possession or something like that? Something like that, I don't know for definite. I probably wouldn't triple captain him. I did like what some people did, like triple captaining in the first game week. Like, get those points in early so you got a decent rank from the very beginning. But yeah. Any other questions I can see? Rashford or Mane or Sterling? I mean, I think Sterling's a must this year. Stats-wise, Sterling is a must this year, I think. We can compare some of these guys, actually. I should remember that I can do this. Just been talking for about half an hour, and I've not used this feature I'm allowed to use. So, if you don't know, Fantasy Football Fix have a player comparison, player heat maps page, where you could literally put players up against each other and see their stats. And also, you've got this nice little feature down here, where you can see where the shots are coming from, if they resulted in a goal. Right now it's a little bit easier to of course see because there hasn't been that many actions, but you can of course limit it by game week as well. But we can see where his goals have come from, who he's been assisted by. And he's been assisted by De Bruyne 3 times. So that De Bruyne-Sterling partnership has started off the season very well. But for instance, you wanted Sterling and Mane and Rashford. So if we go to Liverpool and compare him to Mane, you've got to remember Mane only has 1 game. Got to click that player too. There we go. So Sterling is now on the right. So of course, Sterling's played more minutes. If we look at it from just game week 2, that might be a little bit fairer. So if we compare game week 2 against each other, you've got 13 points and 6 points. 3 bonus points for Sadio Mane, no bonus points for Sterling in a 2-2 draw. But you have to remember, City were playing Spurs and Liverpool were playing Southampton. Now, Mane's goal came from outside the box with an expected goals of 0.07. He also had a chance from inside the box, assisted by Alexander-Arnold, but it was saved. We have a super chat from Robert Hansen. Thank you very much for the super chat. Let me just make a mental note of what the super chat is. Wildcard has been activated. Thank you so much, Robert Hansen. Great guy. Always supporting the channel, always coming in with super chats. Much appreciated. If we then go to Raheem Sterling, you can see his goal came from inside the 6-yard box with a 0.16 expected goals, but he had more chances to score. 6 shots, 2-2. More passes, attempted assists, Mane actually had more. So if we look at that as well, Sterling hasn't attempted many assists. So he had this one here where he set it up to Zinchenko, who took a shot from distance by the looks of it. And then we had one where he played it through to Aguero. Both not with a very high expected goal ratio. Whereas Mane assisted Salah with an expected assist of 0.33. So Salah, that might be the one where Salah run through, got it onto his left and tried to put it around the keeper to the far post. To Milner, who had a long shot. Mane to Firmino, expected assist of 0.33. Robertson, and also assisted, or attempted assist Firmino. So, it's very interesting. If you don't get to watch the games, this can always help. At average position, we can see Mane played deeper than Sterling, despite the competition. You can see where all the touches happen. You can see the heat map. As you can see, Raheem Sterling very focused in that area. Mane a little bit more all over the pitch. And then if you scroll down, you can see more as well. Sorry, I'm playing with something in my hand. That tapping probably will get annoying. You can see expected goals for that game. 0.29 compared to Raheem Sterling, 0.85. Expected assists a lot higher for Mane than Sterling. But for me, I think if you consider City's competition, Spurs, opposition, I should say, I'd probably go Sterling over Mane. And then we can, of course, compare Rashford as well. So Rashford also got 6 points, but he got 1 bonus point as well. Again, Sterling had more shots. Rashford's shots came from distance. He had only 1 attempted assist. Of course, that did result in a goal. I mean, just off the bat, Sterling looks a better option to me than Rashford as well. But of course, you've got to consider that Mane and Sterling are quite similar in price. Rashford is 8.7 million. So, value for money wise, Rashford is probably your man. But yeah, expected goals a lot higher for Sterling, expected assists around the same. So for me, Sterling against Bournemouth, I would probably take the risk and go Sterling myself. Anyway, let's get on to some other questions. By the way, I can't go on too long today, unfortunately, because the missus is expecting me to go to a party that she's taking my kids to. But you know, the life of a family man. Is Martial a must? Mane could be top FPL scorer this season. I've said already, I think Mane looks more dangerous than Salah in that game against Southampton. And Martial leading the line could be a must. It's not like City can bring anyone in now. City. It's not like United can bring anyone in now to play up front. So, I think for me, Sterling is the premium price player I want the most. If I'm going to cover Liverpool, right now, Firmino does look decent, but Mane is the one I'd probably go towards. Then I think the likes of Man United offer you some cheaper options that you can build your side around. Pukki or Rashford? For me, Pukki. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand Norwich have just got promoted. There's the chance that they're not going to continue the form they're currently on. But Pukki just looks so good in front of goal. He just looked so good in front of goal. It was ridiculous. Now, do I think he'll keep that up? No. Pukki's underlying stats are ridiculous. And he's outscoring his expected goals. But having watched those 2 games, Pukki just looked like he's ready for this level. And he's here to prove it. So, not having Pukki in my side is a worry for me, personally. I'm hoping Chelsea can keep him out just for 1 game week. I'm hoping he looks dangerous but just doesn't score. But yeah, Pukki is really, really a big worry for me going into any game week now, to be fair. Unless he drops off like Mitrovic. Of course, Mitrovic started the season off very well last year. Jesus or Aguero to start against Bournemouth. I would like to think Aguero's had enough time off now, or from pre-season, because him and Jesus came back late, but I think Jesus seemed more game ready, which is why he's been brought on. I think Aguero will start. To be honest, what I'm basing that off of, not much. I haven't actually seen anything from the press conferences from Pep. Is he doing it today? Yeah. It might take me a while to find it if Presser has been today. Got Pochettino on Lo Celso. Pochettino on Son. Who's training really, really hard to keep fit and improve in different areas. I mean, these managers don't try and give anything away, do they? Liozzi, I got the new logo this week. It's only changed this week. It was meant to change before the season started. But if you didn't know, I had an absolute nightmare with designers and everything didn't get done in time, which is great. I had so much planned for pre-season. It was probably my worst pre-season ever, as far as actually getting done what I wanted to get done because I was waiting on other people, but never mind. Keeping the faith in Wilson. See, the issue I have is Wilson's underlying stats haven't been awful. Fraser hasn't had awful underlying stats. But to get the players I want in my side, Wilson and Fraser seem like the scapegoats purely because of their price. Perez, who do I move him on to? It has to be someone like him McGinn, someone at 6 million, someone at 5.5. Can't really move Dendoncker onto anyone else. There is Cantwell, but I'm not making any money there. Defence, you've got to look at your Liverpool defenders if you're going to save money there. And I just really wanted De Bruyne in my side. I feel like potentially Salah could go down to Mane. And then maybe the likes of Wilson will come back in. Having, say, like a Wilson and a Pukki as my main strikers. I'm waiting for Jota to do something as well, to be fair. Thoughts on Ceballos, I don't know how to say his name. He looks amazing, but I need to see if he's a rotation risk. Because Emery does seem to like to rotate, which is a worry. Tahir says Mahrez would be a permanent fixture in his side if he was always starting. That's the issue. There's plenty of players I'm really interested in. I just don't know if he will play enough. That is the issue. When I look at De Bruyne, I think he will play as many games as Pep feels he can play. Same with Sterling. Salah, I think, will always play. Barnes is always going to play. I think Pukki will always play. If Perez doesn't do anything against Sheffield United, Jonathan Johansson, then he'll probably be shipped out for McGinn next game week, I imagine. That'll give me 0.8 million. I don't know where that will get spent. Deulofeu again, he's on type. So basically, right now you're looking at the team after I made 3 transfers, but I've not confirmed them. Right now, the ones at risk are probably no one in my defence. I mean, Rico, probably I need to look at changing that at some point, but it's not urgent. That could probably wait till my wildcard. De Bruyne, Salah, Sterling. Salah needs to look more dangerous for him to stay in the side. Perez is at risk. Then Donker is a placeholder at 4.5, so he's not really at risk yet. Deulofeu is at risk. Jota keeps performing well when I don't need him to, which keeps reminding me what he could potentially do. So he's probably safer than a lot of the others that I've just said aren't safe, but I'm still expecting him to do something to stay in this side. Johnny Zav, KDB and Cantwell or Martial and Mount. I would probably go... That's difficult because I'm not too confident in Cantwell yet. Martial and Mount seems more well-rounded, but I just like KDB so much, I would probably go KDB. If Jota redeems himself against Burnley, I'll be a happy man. Shame about my goalkeeper points, but I'll be a very happy man. Trajpool, how about Cancelo? Pep said he's ready. Aren't you afraid of rotation with Zinchenko? I'm very afraid of rotation with Zinchenko. But I've got Lundstrom that can come in probably for Zinchenko. And then I'll make the move if necessary there. Toby, Powell, Bradbury. I'll be very happy with a brace from Deulofeu. Even assists. I'll take the assists. Although the problem is, both Deulofeu and Jota, with their change in position, aren't as intriguing as they initially were last season. That's the big issue there. The virtual pleasure is dropping stats in the chat. Sterling stats versus Bournemouth last 4 seasons, played 8 matches, scored 3. We got another super chat from Robert Hanson. Drop in the P's in the chat. Luke Shaw is an underrated pick in my opinion. I definitely agree. Me personally, Wan-Bissaka's the bonus point magnet. Luke Shaw is the one that could get goals and assists. Harry Maguire could potentially get goals, but I think I would be leaning towards Luke Shaw because I think he could have some big game weeks. Who is better, Mason Mount or Timu Pukki? I worry when Willian gets match fit about Mason Mount's safety in that starting 11. However, I do like the look of Mount, and Mount is someone I am watching. Jimenez or Jota? I would probably go with Jota just because of the money saved. I think they can both be dangerous this season, though. Daniel Nash, wildcarding. He's got Mina or Salah or Digne and Mane. I think Digne and Mane. I just feel like Mane. Stop saying Mane. Mane could be, again, season long matching Salah, and you're saving $1 million. Although Mane might have gone up in price now. He's still saving $1 million. No, he hasn't gone up yet. I really feel like Mane could be just as dangerous as Salah. Okay, I want to explain also why I'm not wildcarding, because I see some people saying get on the wildcard. The only reason I'm not wildcarding, because I'm not happy with my side, that's clear, is because it's 2 game weeks in. There's still the potential in my eyes for Jota, Deulofeu, Perez to bring home some returns. Now, sorry, I read a question on that, completely put me off my train of thought. The reason I'm not comfortable wildcarding is because I don't feel like 2 game weeks is enough information for me to make the best wildcard team to see me until game week 19. So far, we've got the likes of Pukki and Barnes who have hammered it. They've done amazingly well. But players have started off the season really strong before and dropped off. Players have not started off the season really well and then turned out to be season-long picks. I just don't, looking at this team, think I'm so bad off that I need to wildcard. I think I've been unlucky. I think the players I've picked have been very quiet in games they could have got something in. I think my biggest issue was last week I didn't play Lundstrom. If I had, the drop wouldn't have been as significant. Another issue is I didn't go Digne over double Liverpool defence. If I had, I'd have had a better start than I've had. And then the Pukki thing, I could have taken that risk and that would have also been very helpful. But I took the risk of going with plenty of Liverpool and Man City options and plenty of Bournemouth options because I had 2 good first fixtures. The Bournemouth options didn't score as many as I was hoping. A lot of it didn't go through Fraser, who was a player that got me little points. So I don't think it's free here. I don't think it's wildcard time just yet. Simon Allcroft, Jay, would you be willing to tell us a little bit about how you decided to go into streaming? I'll leave that for the end. I apologise if you have to go, but it will be on the replay. But I feel like right now we'll get some more questions answered on FPL before I do that. Robertson and Mahrez or AWB and KDB? AWB and KDB. I just don't think Mahrez is going to play enough. Emerson, I'm very interested in. Christian Pereira. Is it worth taking a hit for Troy Deeney to Barnes? Troy Deeney's injured, isn't he? So potentially that is worth a look. Trent or Robbo on the wild card. Robbo's more secure a pick, but I think Trent's more explosive. And Ndombele isn't going to play this weekend, so I personally don't like either Ndombele or Chamberlain, because I think Chamberlain's too much of a rotation risk, and Ndombele I don't think will be that attacking all season. How do I rate Mina as an Everton defensive option? Before he went to Everton, Mina had great attacking stats and could get some goals. But I just think Digne's the one to go with. He can score a screamer from out of nowhere. He can get assists. He creates so many chances. I feel like he's worth that 0.5 million. Kunal Powell, recap your changes. So, okay, I had Fraser where De Bruyne is. I had Wilson where Barnes is. And I had Robbo where Digne is. So those are the changes I've made so far. If I confirm that is another matter, which I may have to do now, because I'll be out and I don't really trust the Premier League app currently. Alright, Philip, thanks for joining from Poland. As far as Digne, is he injured or is he playing? Pretty sure in the press conference they said he was okay. So Premier Injuries, if you don't know, is a website that Ben Dinnery, sorry, two Bens, getting them wrong, getting them mixed up, is part of, and is a good source for you to check on players. And Digne isn't even in in Everton's injury list at the moment. So I would say he's pretty safe and secure as a pick right now. What's your thoughts on Neil? I don't know how to say his name. Mapay. If he gets right now, he looks at another rotation risk. That's the issue. If he nails down that starting spot, maybe I'd take a look at him. But he did miss a chance, I think, in Game Week 2. I expected him to finish. I am actually going to now call an end to the stream just because it is almost 4 o'clock. I know it's a bit short. The missus literally said I could start at 1, and she left the house at like 3. So, yeah, that wasn't ideal. So I wish I could have streamed longer. I am going to start trying to stream more often. I may stream Saturday or Sunday, because I just want to stream regularly as well as make video content for you guys. So, apologies for Game Week 2, first of all, for not streaming. I will, of course, be with the Wildcats on Tuesday, if you want to go check out FPL Wildcats. I stream with 3 other FPL YouTubers, so go check that out. Thank you, Steve-O, for joining. Go check out Elite FPL as well. Share the love. It's a community thing, this. Follow as many people, watch the ones you like, but just support people. It all helps us all out. We're all trying to do this to, 1, help you guys, 2, hopefully be a little bit entertaining, and 3, you can look at my team and at least cheer yourself up if you haven't started off too well, because you can't have done as bad as I have. So, before I go, someone did ask how I got into streaming, so I'll quickly answer that. Yeah, I know, Rio, no Man U cover. That is killing me at the moment. That is why I haven't pressed confirm yet. Because I've got City cover. I could potentially get rid of De Bruyne and get Man U cover in Martial. That may feel more balanced to me, so that may still be the move I make. But yeah. Rio, I am worried, but I really want De Bruyne, and I think he may rise in price again. That's my issue. I think De Bruyne could be great this season. But as far as me streaming, I actually started off making videos, gaming videos on YouTube, and it didn't really work out. I wasn't really getting anywhere. So I started a new channel. This channel used to be called JNO Certified. It was meant to be a channel where I just talk about stuff I love, FPL being one of them. I planned on talking about mixed martial arts. I planned on talking about football. I planned on talking about wrestling, all sorts of stuff. But FPL, I made one video on FPL in 2015, and considering I hadn't got 100 subscribers, the video got like 2,000, 3,000 views. So it was something I could see that people wanted. I continued to make FPL videos, and then I started to stream as well because, let's be honest, I saw Andy doing it, and Andy was doing really well, just streaming. So yeah, I started streaming. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. That sounds really bad the way I've just said that. Pretend I didn't say unfortunately. I had my second daughter, lovely daughter, bit of a character. She was sleeping in the bedroom. Because we had to put her down whenever she was needed to sleep, couldn't really stream as much as I wanted to from, I think, Game Week 22 onwards last season, so I stopped for a bit, but I'm back. And hopefully we'll get everything sorted. The internet has actually behaved since that second disconnect, I think. But that's how I got into streaming. Any other quick questions I can answer? Elite FPL, I don't know how you guys stream for 3 hours. I mean, I've done some long streams before, but yeah, probably not in the daytime. I think my wife would kick off. But we'll see. I might come for your record times. Zinchenko or Lundstrom? I think it's still got to be Zinchenko. I really feel like Leicester might score. And that would be Lundstrom's clean sheet gone. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining the stream. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. I think we had a high of about 170 people watching. So, thank you guys so much for that. If you want to support the channel in any way, check out all the various links in the description down below. Thank you to my sponsors, Fan Team and Fantasy Football Fix, for helping me make this hobby a little bit more easy. Because, one, I can use their site to look at stats and show you guys, because I couldn't do that before. So you can now see the stats. And Fan Team, I'm just winning some money on, which is nice. As we get another super chat from Robert Hanson. Thank you so much, mate, for that. We'll just quickly check that isn't a question. I appreciate that. I'm not too sure. I believe I've got the best stream yet. But we'll see. I'm coming for the title. So thank you guys so much. Please hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell so you can see all my videos. I made 3 this week. Go check them out. And best of luck in Game Week 3. I hope we all have a great game week. I just hope I have the best game week out of everyone. That is it for me. I've been JNO. This has been FPL Today. And remember, it's all about the game.